Have you ever felt like you're carrying a pain you can't let go of? Sometimes, the weight of resentment is so heavy it traps us in an endless cycle of suffering. Forgiveness, however, can be the key to breaking those chains. In Buddhism, forgiveness isn't just an act of kindness, but a profound practice of liberation and spiritual growth. In daily life, we face countless challenges that test our patience and leave us hurt. Misunderstandings with loved ones, frustrations at work, or even the mistakes we can't forgive ourselves for, all these moments leave marks. And the more we accumulate these emotions, the harder it becomes to find inner peace. In this video, we'll reflect on the role of forgiveness in Buddhist philosophy and discover how it can transform not only our relationships, but also our relationship with ourselves. We'll explore forgiveness as a path to healing, one that frees us from past pain and allows us to move forward spiritually. Take a deep breath, relax, and join me on this journey of self-discovery and liberation. In Buddhism, forgiveness is seen as a practice of liberation for both the one who forgives and the one who is forgiven. It isn't just about forgetting or ignoring an offense, it's a deep acknowledgement of the nature of suffering and the impermanence that touches all things. When we hold on to resentment, we cling to dukkha, the inherent suffering of existence. Buddhist teachings remind us that everything is impermanent, including our emotions and the actions of others. Just as waves rise and fall in the ocean, so too can our hurts dissolve when we allow them to. Furthermore, the interconnectedness of all things reveals that our actions and thoughts affect not only ourselves, but also the world around us. Forgiveness, then, becomes an act of understanding this interdependence, a way to let go of what causes us pain. The practice of forgiveness expresses Buddhist wisdom, teaching us to see beyond immediate appearances, to recognize the ever-changing essence of all things, and to embrace the opportunities for transformation that it offers. Holding on to resentment is like grasping a hot coal, expecting it to burn someone else. In the end, we are the ones who suffer most. Buddhism invites us to reflect on how clinging to grudges perpetuates our suffering, creating a cycle that can only be broken through forgiveness. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the emotional burden weighing on our hearts and clear our minds. This release isn't only emotional but also spiritual, as it halts cycles of negative karma that would otherwise continue. Forgiveness is like untying a tight knot in our consciousness, allowing energy to flow freely once more. The benefits of forgiveness are profound. It brings us lightness, peace, and a broader perspective on life. It's like opening the windows of a dark room, letting in light that renews everything around us. We don't forgive because someone else deserves it, we forgive because we deserve the freedom forgiveness provides. In Buddhism, forgiveness is deeply tied to the concept of karuna, compassion. When we cultivate compassion, we can look beyond people's actions and understand the pain or ignorance that motivates them. This understanding doesn't excuse harmful behaviors, but helps us see the suffering behind them, creating space for forgiveness. Imagine someone acting rudely or unfairly. Often, these behaviors stem from internal wounds, fears, or frustrations. Understanding this allows us to let go of pride and attachment to our grievances. Forgiveness then becomes an act of empathy, where we recognize another's humanity, even in their mistakes. Practicing forgiveness with compassion also helps us see beyond ourselves. When we stop clinging to the role of the victim, we create a broader connection with the world, acknowledging that all of us, at some point, act thoughtlessly. Compassion transforms forgiveness into an act of courage and humility, freeing us from judgment and bringing us closer to true inner peace. In Buddhism, there are intentional and profound practices that help cultivate forgiveness. One such practice is metta meditation, or loving-kindness meditation. During this meditation, we direct thoughts of kindness and well-being toward ourselves, others, and eventually even those who have caused us pain. We repeat phrases like, "May you be at peace," "May you be happy," "May you be free from suffering." This practice softens our hearts and helps us overcome emotional barriers. Another essential tool is understanding karma and interdependence. Reflecting on the fact that our actions have consequences, we realize that holding on to grudges is like planting seeds of suffering that will continue to grow in our lives. Forgiving is a way to break this cycle, cultivating actions that bring peace and balance. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role in forgiveness. When we practice mindfulness, we observe our emotions without judgment, allowing resentment to arise and pass, like clouds moving across the sky. This awareness helps us gradually release our pain without clinging to it. These tools, when used consistently, not only make forgiveness easier but also strengthen our spiritual path, allowing us to live with greater lightness and authenticity. Forgiving isn't always simple. Often, we encounter internal barriers such as pride, deep pain, or even the fear that forgiveness means condoning injustices. However, forgiveness in Buddhism is not an instant act, but a gradual process of liberation. It's important to recognize that forgiveness starts within us. It doesn't require reconciliation or the approval of the other person. It's a conscious choice to leave the past behind. This can be challenging when we feel trapped in the role of the victim, but Buddhism teaches us to observe these feelings with compassion and detachment. One of the biggest challenges is letting go of pride, which often convinces us that holding on to grudges protects us. In reality, resentment only prolongs our suffering. Reflecting on the impermanence of emotions and the cost of keeping them alive in our minds can help us overcome this resistance. Strategies such as writing about our feelings, meditating on the positive impact of forgiveness, or imagining the other person's pain can ease this journey. The key is to remember that forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves, a relief that allows us to move forward with greater lightness and clarity. In the Buddhist context, forgiveness is much more than emotional relief. It's an essential step toward achieving mental clarity and spiritual progress. When we forgive, we dissolve layers of resentment that obscure our minds, enabling us to see life with greater clarity and balance. On the path to enlightenment, forgiveness serves as a gateway to liberation. It helps us release attachments to the past that keep us stuck in cycles of suffering. The practice of forgiveness teaches us to live in the present moment, free from emotional burdens that distance us from inner peace. Additionally, forgiveness strengthens our sense of compassion and connection with others. We recognize that we're all on a journey of learning and that the faults and mistakes of others often reflect our own human limitations. This perspective brings us closer to the wisdom Buddhism proposes, where suffering ceases to be an enemy and becomes an opportunity to grow and evolve. The peace that comes from forgiveness is transformative. It not only illuminates our spiritual path but also resonates across all areas of our lives, fostering harmony in our relationships and bringing a profound sense of freedom. Forgiveness is a powerful and transformative practice deeply rooted in Buddhist teachings. Throughout this video, we've explored how the act of forgiving goes beyond a mere altruistic gesture. It is an essential tool for freeing our hearts and minds from suffering, strengthening our compassion, and bringing us closer to the inner peace we seek. Forgiveness invites us to release the bonds of the past and live with greater ease. It doesn't mean condoning or forgetting, it means recognizing that by letting go of resentment, we free ourselves. Forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves, an act of courage and self-love that allows us to advance spiritually. Let forgiveness transform your journey, bringing clarity, harmony, and the peace that comes from a free heart. If this video inspired you, share it with someone you love, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more reflections like this one. Until next time, may all beings be at peace.